I have future wager at 50 to 1.
You do?
I got another 25 to win. Woo!
Mystic Journey over the top takes the lead. She is entering the main-off.
If I don't get the first leg, Warren, I just walk home. I'm just straight out the door. I'm gone.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to another massive edition of the 2 Units podcast. 4 Group 1s hit us this weekend, right between the eyes. We've got a couple at headquarters and, of course, a couple of terrific races at Royal Randwick, which we're going to unpack in great detail because it is a great week for racing chat. We'll also have the supper and pack Ya Nags, but there's some serious lead in the pencil, Sulty.
Mate, it's pretty easy to get out of bed this time of year, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We've got opening round of the Rugby League and also the AFL. Magnificent day of racing, Flemington, Randwick, Murray Bridge. A long weekend, Adelaide Cup Day, of course, on Monday as well. There's a lot to like about being alive, and I'm pretty sure by the end of this show, old mate Fred Durst, he's going to have a sore throat. He might need some strepsils, Fred.
I reckon he's going to we'll get him on the honey tea, the lemon and honey and cinnamon.
Because he's going to be loving this shit right here.
I think I'm going to clip that up as the new sound effect.
That goal regulation says a word! So you will listen to every damn word I have to say! I've seen those finger paintings you bring home and they suck! I'll come!
Not everything can be happy, Sults, because there's no supper this week.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
We're supperless.
There were jockeys riding their first ever winners last Sunday. There were trainers training their first ever winners as well.
Yep.
That's all good and well, but I just couldn't be bothered with it, to be honest. I just want to send things packing. I feel like that's where the fun's at this week.
We'll let other outlets talk about first winners and trainers breaking droughts.
And it's good stuff. It happened on Sunday. It's a little
stuff.
well done.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, but I want to send some things packing.
Yeah, I want to go off the long run, wipe the hand against the sight screen and really steam in today.
What about this one? It's a bit like, tennis is the real winner. What about just bringing horse racing to the supper?
Yes.
Wait, we were doing our reviews on Monday and you just sat there, and I've done the exact same thing before. You just sat there and you're like, how fucking good's racing? I was like, mate, it's that good. I'm looking back at what's happened and I was just getting limp.
I don't sit well with silence, you know that. Like I genuinely have to feel silence. Like you're quite the introvert when it comes to being in an office space.
AD foot, you reckon?
A little bit, but we were sitting around there and it was just a big lull around the office and I just wanted to let it rip and it took off. I just said, how fucking good's racing?
Yeah.
And it's right. That's the supper. What do we got?
You don't really fart much, do you?
No, not a lot.
You're not really a big farter.
I'm a silent but violent type of operator.
Yeah. What about when we were at the races the other week together and we were all stood outside the bathroom and I did a massive fart.
That's right.
And then that model walked out and she was pissing herself.
Oh my God.
She pissed herself. She loved it.
That was actually humiliating because they
You nearly walked off. You were embarrassed.
Well, they were unisex toilets. And you've got this absolute worldie walking out of the dunnies and you've cocked your leg and aimed it too. You didn't just let it rip.
Yeah, it was a real sort of,
it was pathetic.
It was a real sort of marking of the territory at Caulfield.
Pathetic.
Well, that can come to the supper.
Jeez.
That was a good little sort of duck.
Right. What are you sending packing?
We've got
week?
a bit sidetracked.
Yeah.
We're not.
We're in Nags.
Oh, yeah, all right. Well, yeah. I've got to bring something up with you, mate. I feel like you're not present at the moment.
Right.
I feel like you're not present in this show. You're just focusing a bit too much on astrology.
Right.
Your head's up in the clouds, mate.
Is that right?
Yeah, you're a bit like Jackie O.
Do you reckon there's going to be a bust up here?
Yeah.
I'd take a payout of that sort of proportion.
You're into the tarot card, you know,
I don't mind pulling a card before bed.
Yeah.
With the wife. Just going for a go, yeah.
Of all the things, though, that they blew up about, like, they've been on air for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever listened to their show.
I haven't. Well, they sort of, they got
they were real
famous
Sydney
in
operators.
Sydney and they never really cut it down here.
People in Sydney are a bit different.
I sense there...
What flies up there doesn't fly down here.
Yeah, I sense there's a greater underlying issue than tarot cards and astrology.
Bit of a final straw sort of setup.
Yeah. When this podcast breaks up, the inevitability of this podcast one day coming to an end, what's going to be the reason behind it? What's the sell, do you think?
Just got too global. Couldn't handle the fame.
Yeah.
That's why my band broke up back in the day.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were going to tour
What
Japan.
were they called again?
Home to Kelly.
Home to Kelly,
Yeah,
that's right.
we were going to tour Japan.
Were you big in Japan?
Yeah, we were going to tour Japan, and then our drummer left, and he moved to the US, and we tried to replace him, but we were all mates, so it was just a bit orcs. And then we thought, just maybe this fame game's not for us guys, and we just called it quits.
Did you have a real foothold in Tokyo, did you? The band?
Yeah, they love their rock and roll over there.
Is that right?
Yeah, they were big fans.
Okay.
Yeah, we went top 7 trillion on the charts in Japan, actually.
It's still pretty high given the population.
I don't even know what I'm sending back in here,
Yeah,
but it was just good news.
Yeah, it's great
Well,
news.
good news or whatever. But what about that contract? How much money in commercial radio?
Well,
Well, none of that was at RSN.
At the top end.
You and I got a packet of chips for going in there with Gareth Hall if we were lucky.
so I didn't see any of the Sam boys.
If
you got,
I took all the Sam
if
boys.
you got Sam boys, hats off to you.
Had to invoice for them.
I tell you who I'm sending packing, and the Aussies would love to get behind this one, and it is that complete and utter buffoon, Johnny Bairstow.
The
And
stay in your crease, Johnny.
I'm labelling this Bairstow buffoonery because this is exactly what it is. So he's obviously in Dubai, okay, as of last week, he was in Dubai, and he takes a concern to X, and he tweets Emirates. He posts to Emirates and he said, look, we haven't had any communication post our flight getting cancelled. I've tried the lines of communication, but nothing. Can someone please get in contact? How about you read the room, Johnny? Go outside and look up in the sky.
Look at the missiles.
And tell yourself if you A, want to get in a plane, and
Yeah.
B, do you think a commercial airline's going to be operating anytime soon?
Well, it's a pretty significant lack of awareness. They wouldn't be able to text everyone, would they?
Well, even if they did, I'd imagine the text would be suspended until the fucking world stops blowing each other up.
There's more pressing concerns. He did cop it, and rightfully so.
so.
Yeah, Dubai
Complete
seemed like a
buffoonery.
bit of a hub for like influencers go over there, and
I thought
all of a sudden they're driving Lamborghinis and
you were about to go over and visit Prime Train. Weren't you? Oh yeah.
well, business meetings all day, but then they're done via Zoom. So
Yeah.
are they really business meetings all day?
Well, I think,
Do you need to be in Dubai for the meeting if it's just done online?
aren't you going to sell your form analyst course? How to leave your 9 to 5? Saltsy 25 at checkout.
Time to pay your taxes, champ. I would've thought.
I think it's just a big tax dodge, isn't it? That's what
Yeah.
Dubai is.
Although-
it's not like-minded individuals like
Nah.
meeting up that are successful. It's just people that want to live in sandcastles and not pay taxes, yeah?
If you grew up here, it's time you give back. But down here in Victoria, we're probably giving a little bit too much back.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Jeez, that Westgate Tunnel was a good expenditure, wasn't it? Damien Ratcliffe, the only bloke using it.
Somehow got from John Bairstow to Damien Ratcliffe driving through the Westgate Tunnel. He fired up actually in the DMs. He was pretty rapt about that.
Okay.
Getting
Shout
a mention
out.
on the show. Yeah, tunes in.
Hey, you know these new gates they have at Coles that sort of
Yeah,
let you out?
Red light, green light gates too.
Yeah,
They
and
use the
sometimes they
automatic
just don't
shutters.
let you out
Yeah,
randomly.
Yeah.
I've got this fear, this like almost phobia,
Hmm.
that when I walk through it, they're going to close and smash my knees into parts pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's controlling themselves?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder if people out there, fellow unit army members, are feeling the same thing. And if you're not, well, now you might, because I've got in your head I find them a little bit scary. They're a bit aggressive.
I think they're means tested. So when you put through that you've purchased one avocado, but you've got 7 in your bag, maybe it's just tuning into the fact
How
that
do they know that, though?
Just putting it out there.
They've come a long way, though, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
They have. It's even when you like scan, if you have a bag in your basket on the other side, or you've left something like there might be like an onion skin in there, it won't let you check out until you've like removed the thing from your basket or tracked it.
Yeah, okay.
It's smarter than me.
I just stood in front of it once, had nothing in my hand, and automatically the AI flashed up on the screen, extra large zucchini.
favorite ticket.
So it's pretty good, actually.
That's good, mate. Good stuff.
It's a good sort of measuring stick.
Hotel authorisations.
Move on.
Yeah,
Move on.
Yeah, I've Stu McGill. Yeah. I'll jump this, Mike.
What's your knees?
Hotel payment authorisations. Obviously stay in a lot of hotels for work, and I've recently travelled for 6 weeks. And these piss me off more than you could ever imagine. Because what happens is you check in and they're like, well, can we have a credit card to hold for incidentals? And I've got no issues with that, no dramas. So you give them a card. Some of them go, oh, we're going to take a hold of $100 here. And that's fine, but you don't get it back for about 2 weeks. And it's
bullshit.
Yeah, it's not on. And there was a place I stayed at in London, and we stayed there for 6 nights. And they go, we're going to hold £100 per night.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
£600.
So £600. So it's 1,200.
It's like 30 grand.
Yes. I was going to say 1,200 Australian, but 30 grand, it suits this narrative far more. I was 30 grand out of pocket for 6 days. And then, not for 6 days, I got it back into my account 35 days later.
That's ridiculous.
And
what?
it was on a travel card. So I had to put more money back onto a travel card.
I'm smelling some sort of scheme here, because they do that to every person that stays there.
You reckon a high interest
and
account
they invest it. They invest it in a short-term sort of, high interest account, or, they buy some stocks or something.
Yep. There's only one man.
BHP.
We need that investigated, ACA style.
Steve Marshall.
Yeah, there's only one man that could.
Well, he was on the ACA the other night, really giving it to Colin Jackie O, Steve.
Really?
He's a bit more serious now, Steve. He used to track people down in the Bunnings car park. He'd get in people's face and say like sort of stupid catchphrases and stuff. He's gone a bit more serious. I need to see a bit more from Steve.
He's fallen outside of your top 5.
Steve's on Fraud Watch because he's one of my favourite journalists.
Really?
Because some of the stuff that he does.
He's trying to be something.
Yeah, don't be something you're not, Steve.
Yeah, very cool. All right.
Tim Yateman's a great friend of the show. We love him.
I feel a build up here to knock him down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he directly cost me a multi the other day, but I had this 5-leg multi going on at the Caulfield Heath track.
Yep.
And I tore the joint apart to pieces the other day. So see them like pineapples. And I knew Tim was working in the studio, racing.com. And the racing.com feed, even if you've got a proper live feed at home with an antenna, is still, I don't know, 20 seconds ahead or 15 seconds ahead.
Wow. Let
alone if I'm watching on KO, which is another 15 seconds. So Tim's basically a minute ahead of me.
It's basically daylight savings.
He's in another time zone. He's ahead of me, and there's like 8 screens in the studio, including the one that has the photo finish and the official times and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm in my gym, and my reception was a bit grainy.
Bit flaky.
Yeah, under the building. So I text, have I got that? Because he knew I was on Crown Crusher. I said, have I got that Crown Crusher third? And he said, yeah. And I was absolutely wrapped. I'm like, this multi just... There was still 1 leg after, and of course, that got up. So it meant that Crown Crusher was the only loss. And it ended up that he ran 4th.
You're joking.
So he's gone and given me the fake news. He's supposed to be a journalist.
That has genuinely cost you the multi. That's
it
his
has.
Fault.
It flattened me because I celebrated. I said, fuck yeah, because I had something on him each way. I had him like 1 by 72 each way.
Yeah,
I was pretty flat about that.
That's Tim Yateman fake news.
Yeah, that was fake news.
Okay, we're not happy with that.
Chris K, as he calls himself, even he doesn't want to pronounce his last name. I think it's Kempzinski.
Yeah, Kempzinski.
Yeah. He's the McDonald's CEO.
Yeah.
So this guy... I'm not sure if you've heard of the company, but there's about 25 billion of them around the world. He'd just be swimming in
I
it.
have to try this sometime.
They released the big arch, which in the photos looks outstanding.
Okay.
In real life, we know there's a big difference, but he does like an ad, like an Instagram reel ad for it. And he's like, oh, have a look at this product. And he opens it up and he's like, oh, that's a big burger. I'm going to take a big bite. And he takes the most pathetic pissant bite ever. It was like a nibble.
I've seen this clip.
Like a rat chewing a wire.
Can we actually talk about how he holds the burger too? Like he picks it up like a complete amateur. He picks it up like it's the first burger he's ever held in his life.
I didn't even notice the pickup technique. What are we talking here?
This is...
2 hands?
No, you need to watch it. It's sort of like this weird cack-handed pickup. It's it's not on, and it's almost like Jim Carrey areas. It's like someone's been cloned as the CEO of McDonald's. I'm not sure it's him.
Yeah, well, his bite was pathetic. And he said, a big bite for a big arch. And he's just copying it. Yeah. I don't know if he's done it on purpose or not, but it's actually embarrassing.
I've seen, the way I saw it was someone doing a reaction reel to it. So I've actually haven't even seen the original. I've just seen people people reacting all over the globe to the big arch bite.
Well, off to your room, Chris.
Yeah,
pathetic.
Pathetic.
Rat.
You know what I love about Betfair footy?
What's that, Salts?
It's not you versus the bookies. It's punter versus punter.
So you set the odds or take them if you like them.
Yep. And as the market moves, you can back, lay, or even trade your position. It's proper strategy stuff.
It's where sport meets trading, and it's a completely different way to bet.
So if you're ready to level up, get Betfair on your side.
You can even follow all of our Saturday specs. Download the Betfair app today. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Welcome back. It is time for SULTS SPECS, proudly brought to you by Betfair. That's where we'll be trading every Saturday. You can follow us on the Betfair app. Just hop into the expert tips tab, follow 2 units, set your notifications, because every single tip we're about to chat about in specs will be available on the Betfair app. So make sure you give us a follow, because that is the best way to go about it. Salty, Flemington, Royal Randwick, Muzzaby, 4 Group 1s. What a day.
Oh, a great day. And as always, we start down in Victoria. It's a terrific program for All-Star Mile and Newmarket Handicap Day. Rail 6 metres, good for. Could get to a 3 later in the day. The rail 6 to 8 metre statistics of all rail positions at Flemington, they have the lowest strike rate for back markers. So we know rail true, like you can sort of blend in, you can make ground. I think there's going to be some favours to be on pace, particularly in the circle races. And that's going to be exacerbated by the fact that we've got 20 to 30 kilometre southerly winds kicking up after 2 p.m. So southerly winds, we know at Flemington, races 1,400 metres north of, but particularly the 1,400 metre and 1,600 metre races, it really does favour runners on pace. I'm not thinking it's going to be an easy day to make ground at Flemington on Saturday. Southerly winds generally favour sort of middle to outside gates in straight races, because what that does is it blows from the inside rail across. So I expect that to be some sort of advantage, but you know, who knows in a Newmarket if they split and the inside division get further ahead. So bit to play out there, but I'm pretty confident those circle races, I want to be with horses on pace.
I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
I know I was supposed to save it for a race, but I'm that rock hard for this entire day that just every bit about Saturday is my LIMP lead in my pencil moment, Salts.
FOOT Nick Footy's right here.
Yeah, big time.
DAVID David Streelaw is right here. That rolls off the tongue, mate.
Davey Streelaw.
Mate, I am absolutely firm.
Yeah.
I'm ready to paint this course all different colours.
What colour exactly are we painting this course?
I wasn't going to say it, but
no. Yes.
It leads me into race 1, mate. That's
ropes of paint.
It leads me into race 1. I've set that up nicely.
Yeah, okay. It is a 3-year-old handicap over 1,100 metres. You and I are going head to head here. Yeah. I'm siding with the best horse in the race.
Yep.
You're siding with the up-and-comer.
Yeah, I'm siding with the one that I reckon we'll be saying is the best horse in the race after Saturday. I know Legacy Bound, who you're going to make a case for, has the form on the board. He's a good horse. He got away with winning an okay race first up in the spring as a 3-year-old over 1,100 metres. I think that there's one here, though, that would have run over the top of him, and that's Van Gogh Bank Check. This guy paints paintings and cashes bank checks. That's how good he is, and he's going to paint the straight.
Yeah.
2 runs over 1,000 metres. He got way out of his ground from barrier 14 at Echuca, fastest close of the day. And then start 2, he's thrown in the deep end when he's home second fastest close of the day across the carnival when beaten by Peloton. That horse has gone and won since nicely at Caulfield. Form around him's pretty good as well. So to do that at start 2 and run a pretty good rating, I think that's a nice horse. He drops weight from that. His 2 jump outs without his race day blinkers have been magnificent. One of them, he was back wide, and I know Legacy Bound wasn't asked, but neither was Van Gogh Bagcheck, and he sailed on by Legacy Bound. I reckon this is the horse with the best turn of foot in the race, and down the straight, they're the types of horses that I like backing. He is my best bet at Flemington. I'm really bullish. This is a very good racehorse.
Yeah, well, that's a big push. Currently $3.20, Legacy Bound around $2.60 at the moment on the corporates. I'm very bullish around the chance of Legacy Bound. So we're really locking horns in the first because he's the one that's easily the best horse in the race. Like, he's run third in a Coolmore. You can tie him in with Military Tycoon through those 10 Tyrus and My Gladiola, who just belted her, has jumped out exceptionally well at Cranbourne. And I know he gives the artist and bank robber 5 kilos here, but he's earned every single gram of those to date in his career. So he's the one that you have to beat, and Van Gogh Bank Check is the one that has to rise to the level. So I'm going with the proven formula. You're going a little bit of what you think might be in the locker. So locking horns there in race 1 with the 2 at the top of the market. Race number 2, Saltsy, this is a benchmark 84 over 1,100 metres. This is a very interesting little race as well. I know you're staying out of this, but She's an Artist is a fascinating runner who was a good first up winner at Caulfield. That was on the Heath circuit. Verdot was a very good first up winner as well, who you found at a nice price. I thought those were the clear 2 dangers. I'm siding with She's an Artist in this race. There was something that she showed first up, which we haven't seen from her yet, and it was a little bit of grit to win a race. Like, she's obviously put away some good races early in her career where she's spanked her opposition, but she came from off the speed and actually showed a little bit of grit for the first time, which I thought was a big plus. And like, that was only a benchmark 78 on the Heath circuit, but we know what she's capable of. She beat Bridal Waltz by over 4 lengths with a big figure at Flemington. She'll come on plenty, draw on the right part of the track. We just know the ability she possesses, and I think she might be back.
The merit to that performance was she copped a big squeeze out of the gates and she had to be ridden back and wide, and it was a hot fence day on the Heath track. She won against the pattern. One other horse won running on it was Cursit, who subsequently won at Cranbourne, but that was a mile race with speed on. Like, the sprint trips, you just had to be on pace. So her win had a lot of hidden merit. Verdot, the thing that worries me about him and why I've stayed out, because I like She's an Artist as well as a mare, and that was a nice win. But the thing that worries me about Verdot is how much he wanted it first up.
Yeah,
he really wanted that. And this is a good racehorse as well. And he was home pretty good close relative to the day, on a better day of racing too. So I could probably price them a little closer together. There was a big fluck. Like, she was like $2.50. Thursday morning, She's an Artist, and as we go to air, she's even money. I think you'll get a better price. Wait, in fact, you will get a better price on the exchange than even money. So just wait for that if you want to back She's an Artist. But yeah, I couldn't split her and Verdot, so I was happy to stay out just at the prices.
Yeah, and he's done hot too, has to be respected. Brings a different form line, the Sydney form around Signor Tortoni last start, which is pretty good.
And might be the leader as well.
Yeah. So, but I'm banking She's an Artist can find somewhere back to her best form. Whether she eclipses that figure we saw early in her career, I think the jury's still out, but I think she's still a pretty talented racehorse.
Yeah,
She's an Artist.
That number made me look like a damn fool.
Yeah, it's not over yet, Salty.
Yeah. All right.
That's beauty.
True. That's true.
It's not over yet.
Hey, race 3's for the 2-year-old fillies, the Ottawa Stakes. It's a Group 3 over 1,000 metres, and one by the name of Jadzia for the Graham Begg camp left a little bit of money on the ground for me, because I had a Blue Diamond ticket and she never got there because she continually got scratched on race day, but you're willing to stick with her.
Yeah, well, what I love about it is just reading between the lines and what Graham Begg has said. He's like, she's not going to the races unless she's absolutely cherry ripe at 100%. Like, if she was 1% off and he was like, there's just something small, I wasn't happy with her, scratched her. So the fact that she's here points to a forward showing for me, and I think she looks ready to rock and roll off her latest trial on the Heath circuit. Granted, the way she was trialling up prior to the Diamond was pretty explosive, but I think it was just a tick over to keep her up to the mark. She possesses great change-up speed in those trial salts. Like, it was a really nice piece of work that she's shown. So I think she can go to this race, the Ottawa, and in terms of what she was aiming up at versus what she's facing here, there's a fair difference in class 2-year-olds.
To my eye, I thought she had trialled better when she was preparing to go on a Blue Diamond path than the one between runs. But I can see your case, and I'm pretty keen that she's got some ability, but I was happy to stay out of that race. And I'm also going to stay out of race 4, the Shaftesbury Avenue 1400 metre Group 3. This is a cracking race.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the runners in this race, because we've got Persian Spirit and On Display. They're your equal favourites at the moment. You've got Cafe Millennium around $4.80. Here to Shock, $6.50. Welcome to the Show, who's just a complete winner, around $8. So all of those runners in single figures have pretty strong claims for this. Like Here to Shock's going to be right up on the speed. The way that Persian Spirit was finishing through the line, through that Oakley plate was really strong as well. So there are cases you can make, but the one I'm going to talk to, Sultsy, is Cafe Millennium, who he's just a complete and utter Flemington 1400 metre pig. And I love him. He's turned from a loser into a winner. He's a big moving operator. He just eats up the expanses of HQ. And I know you talk a little bit about how the track might play and the conditions of being up on speed. This guy drawing out's a big plus, because he needs room to move, and Celine just lets him roll. And hit the form through the Elms, which he won, has been really good. So Birdman and Nzudo were there. They've since Quinella de Blamey. I just like the way that Celine gets this guy travelling, blends him into the race. I think he monsters him.
He's hard to knock. He loves big tracks. Flemington, 14. He draws out, which isn't an issue because he goes back. Celine's got a good association with him. I think he's a good each-way chance. But, the knock is he got a beautiful ride. Well, I said he's hard to knock, and then the knock is. But, the difference between last start and the Elms was he copped that beautiful ride and he had lesser horses to get past. So, now, Here to Shock's here, a Group 1 winner. He'll be up on speed. He's beaten Persian Spirit in the past, albeit a luckless Persian Spirit. We know Persian Spirit's dynamic with a big turn of foot. We know what On Display can do first up. We know she's got a big turn of foot. So he's got horses that are going to settle in front of him that have a turn of foot that's just as good, if not better. So he's got to get past On Display. He's got to get past Persian Spirit. So that was why I sort of stayed out of the race. This is a race where I actually, although it would surprise me if Wonder Boy, Precious Charm or Pounding won, I think anything can win this race. It is so wide open. So I couldn't narrow down to one. I ended up with On Display on top because she just might settle in front of Persian Spirit. But that's it. It's a good race.
It is. So basically just back Cafe Millennium, everyone.
Follow the foot.
Follow the foot. You heard it here first. Hey, race 5. This is the CUNY. It's for the 3-year-old fillies. I'm backing one at any old odds here, Saltsy. And it's a different sort of setup. I speak of Seychelles, and I know it's a tough ask to go from maiden grade to a Group 2, but I think she can run a race. So she's one for exotics if you're that way inclined. She's through a fast race at Pakenham. She was held up from the 5 to the 3. She got a nice run once clear, but she finished well over the top of them. And I think she was strip fitter off that first up run. And honestly, there's no superstars here. I know it's a Group 2 fillies race, but this is, to me, is something that someone can come from a maiden or come from obscurity and run really well in this race. So you could do worse than make an each way case for Seychelles on Saturday.
Seychelles by the Seychelles. Can see your case. Another one coming through a maiden was Lathlane, who was good first up at Seymour, who was aimed up at a manifold start 3. I think she can win. Sassapil was soft on the line last start. I know she got some favours. Mystery in Jama and Pillow Fight might make her work a little bit. And then Salty Pearl, well, the last time she was at a mile, she was good against the Pattern 1,000 Guineas. And then last start, the only horse that beat her, She's an Alibi, who might be the best filly in the country. So easy to make a case for her.
She is a really good filly, Salty Pearl, but she's not a top liner. This is well within her reach, but that's why she's $2.80.
Yeah.
And I think the Sassapil price isn't just the way that I think it was Damien Lane riding Sassapil, was it, last start? Just got all favours up on speed.
Yeah, I'm staying out of that one as well.
Yep. So just specking something at a bit of a price. What do we got? Like $50 on...
$50?
$51 Seychelles is on...
Shit.
On corporates there at the moment. We're not going to play into race 6. Did you want to talk to the Size Produce Stakes? Because Zambale is an interesting runner, and I reckon a few of our listeners and viewers might be looking to a horse like Zambale's to build their multis perhaps over the day. I just got a bad feeling about this setup. I just don't like it. I know I was keen on him. I made a case for him in the Blue Diamond and he ran really well. He was on the 7-day backup. Like, was this part of the plan? Is this just a throw at the stumps after the fact?
Yeah, but even if it is a throw at the stumps, he's got 10 to aim at. Like, it's not much of a race.
He's $1.80.
Yeah, exactly. I'm staying out as well. It's not really a race of interest. What was the one at Ballarat that was good that got dragged back? I backed it at $6.50 and a $2.40 for the Hayes Camp, Regal Ambition.
Yeah.
And she ripped home, but she's drawn out and she was sort of half slow there as well. So don't just leave it out of your multis. Just take a break.
Well, that's as good advice as any. We'll talk about the first Group 1 then of the 4 that we've got on Saturday. It is the Group 1 All-Star Mile. It's in its 8th iteration.
Long?
Yeah. So 2019 Mystic Journey won the inaugural edition. So
that was so good.
It's had a little bit of a checkered history though, hasn't it? Like, I thought the first was probably the best and it's sort of petered in and up. But like, in terms of what Saturday throws up, and that's ultimately what bloody we're here to talk about, I reckon this is a terrific little betting race. Like, lots of good angles. Any race Pride of Jenny is always box office, and she has the ability to do strange things to other horses and races. So anything with her in it adds intrigue. You've got Treasure the Moment, who will be looking to bounce back after being pretty well held, and I thought pretty plain, to be honest, first up. Tom Kitten, he's completely airborne. Steffi Magnetica second up. Buckaroo, he's as dynamic as ever after that first up run as well, and Antino's an interesting runner. But I think it's a cracking field. What way are you leaning?
I just don't see how they go with Pride of Jenny. Whoever drags them up just can't win. And we've seen that before. Like, Treasure the Moment, I know it was a wet track in the mile race, the Champions Mile. Is that what it's called? The last day of the carnival.
Cantala.
No, that was when it was a handicap. Well, anyway, the one
called.
won by Chow Wolf.
Yeah.
Treasure the Moment.
Champions Mile.
Yeah, Champions Mile. Treasure the Moment dragged them up there. Got there early, was beaten 8.5. So do you want to drag them up and then hit the lead at the top of the straight? Because if she hits the lead at the top of the straight and goes past Pride of Jenny, she'll get beaten 8 lengths. Evaporate is a horse that is half slow and then musters. So Treasure the Moment jumps faster than him, might clear him, then be the bunny. But does then Ben Mallam look to the inside and see Jamie and see that, she's on Antino, see the rider of Evaporate, Luke Curry, and want him to kick up underneath. I feel like this is just going to be one of those occasions when they're all looking at each other.
Yeah.
And we know now, at this stage of her career, she's best on the fresh side, Pride of Jenny. There is no issue straight to the mile. I had no issue with her jump out either, because she kept running past the post too. A high cruising speed horse that busts them up in the middle stages at 1,600 metres is never going to be like a supremely flashy jump out horse either. I thought she did enough. I just think they all look at each other. Declan Bates, barrier 2. Antino drawn barrier 1. It's all good and well to say, we'd love to put him in the race, but he just misses the start.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. There's so much history of him missing the start. So she'll clear him with ease. And then the others sort of look at each other and say, who's going to take it up? And then, from the 1,000, that's when she gets rolling. And at 3:40 p.m., I've got the southerly winds at the strongest they're going to be all day. So for the time of this race just couldn't be better for her.
This is outrageous.
We've seen this before.
We've got a dry track.
We've got a 6-metre rail.
Yeah.
We've got southerly winds. We've got Declan Bates. We've got Pride of Jenny. We've got everyone else looking at each other.
I find it extremely hard to argue with you around all the points that you've made, because Pride of Jenny, she just...
Well, we've seen it before,
This is what
haven't
she
we?
does. It's just what she does. And there's a ferocious body of work to suggest that she comes out and does it again. The way I'm playing the race, so I've been Team Tom Kitten, I reckon he's completely flying. I reckon he's going as good as he ever has been. I'm making him my back, but I'm not losing if Pride of Jenny wins the race. Like, she either flogs them or she gets a stitch and drops out, and we go, where's Pride of Jenny at? And then she'll probably come back next start and win, and it keeps everyone guessing, because that's what she does, right? So I'm backing Tom Kitten as my main play. I'm saving on Pride of Jenny for all you mentioned, but Tom Kitten's just flying. His return in the Kevin Heffernan was outstanding. So he got home in the fastest last 200 metres of the meeting. And this was a day where the Rubiton was run and at a slow pace. He got home faster than the likes of Oak Hill in that race. So, I mean, in terms of how he worked through the line, and then he's been kept on the fresher side in the lead up to the All-Star Mile. This just looks his race. I think if he can bounce off that, what perhaps is a career peak figure in the Kevin Heffernan, then he'll be really hard to beat. But the biggest challenge for him is the race shape, as you mentioned. So hopefully you've got an Evaporate or a Treasure the Moment doing the donkey work to lead them up to Pride of Jenny. And if that situation unfolds, he's licking his lips, the kitten.
I'm not reading too much into it, but you would have liked to see Feroce run better in that the Group 1.
Yeah.
Because over 1,400 metres, that a few of these come through the Futurity, because
Femsy Futurity.
Futurity.
Like,
he got belted by them.
Yeah.
And, Tom Kitten just got past him. So that ties in a few of these, like Buckaroo, who was good. But then we've got to look at Buckaroo. Well, he's regularly slow away, and like they're not going to use him up because he's going to an Australian Cup.
This is an Australian Cup prelude for a few of these. Like, I know the prelude,
and like a Lucy, they'll ride her cold.
I know that's later in the day, the actual prelude, but this is a rich prelude for Buckaroo, like a Lucy, those horses that are going to the Australian Cup.
Antino, he had excuses first up, but we've seen two poor ones in a row. So, and barrier one for him is just awful.
I just don't know where he's at.
There was a good quote from Sam Freedman on radio this morning. He just said, I hate racing against Pride of Jenny.
Yeah.
He was talking about Tom Kitten. He just said he just hates it. He's just what she does to races. So,
she just throws up weird shit.
Yeah, I can see her doing it again.
And that's why she's so good.
And I'll be backing her. I think she's a good price. Anything with a 4 in front of it, I think it's a good price.
Yeah, to be honest, I could probably, if I go to the Bank of Foot and have a look around here, $4.26, I'd be mad not to make her a small profit over a save, to be fair.
Bloody oath.
Yeah, at that price. It's a good point. Let's get to race number 8 now. It's the Matron Stakes. This is for the mares. I'm completely baffled that Damask Rose has come up your favourite here at $4.40. How many more chances are punters going to give her? Seriously.
Well, her ratings profile is good, so it keeps her safe, and
price.
And she's started $3 last start, which keeps her safe again. But she's had the advantage her last two of drawing barrier 1 and barrier 2, and Craig's been able to hunt up off sort of awkward starts. Now she's drawn barrier 12 and goes back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very keen to risk her.
Oh, it's a lay.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
an absolute lay job here on the Betfair app. Damask Rose at $4.40. You and I are singing from the same hymn sheet here, Saltsy, because see what I see. This was an outstanding return in the Tresity over 1,400. She's a complete and utter second up beast. She's 2 from 3 at the mile. Tell me why she doesn't win.
Well, you're seeing what I'm seeing, bro. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why the market isn't seeing it.
You'll see.
I do see. This is me at the Grand Canyon. So, off a plain run first up last preparation, she goes to Ballarat, runs really fast time, dry track, almost a career peak. This is a dry tracker that loves the mile and improves second up. So she draws barrier 2. She's got some options. She can either lead. She could let Jenny Lala roll across, but I'm not seeing a great deal of speed in this race either, which is, again, another reason why you're against Damask Rose from that wide draw. So she was a pretty easy bet to have. I thought her first up run was good because she sat in the 1-1. She was beaten by Paradise City, who had race fitness.
Oh, thank you.
She got past Road to Arataki, who's a good mare. Mm-hmm. And then she kept fighting back through the line once they got level. So it was the perfect run for 1,600.
Yep, no, spot on. I thought she was one of the better bets on the program at Flemington.
Yeah,
see
good
what I see.
Yep.
Hey, let's talk race 9 now, which is the Group 1 Newmarket Handicap. How good's just a fat old handicap down the guts, eh?
Speaking of fat.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
Oh yeah.
pH.
Yeah. It's a little bit of lead in the pencil,
Yeah.
this sort of stuff, isn't
Making
it,
me
Salts?
a bit warm.
Well, Tentaurus, there's been a bit said this week around the weight, 57 kilos, meets My Gladiola on the second line of betting, 4.5 kilos worse off at the weights. Then you got the likes of, then it blows out, doesn't it? They're the only two runners in single figures.
Yeah.
Got the likes of War Machine, Angel Capital, Cabalas is a really interesting runner who's been on a little bit of a Newmarket plan the whole way through, really. Barracuda, $16. I want to see him back around a bend. Benedetta was good through the Lightning as well. Down to Seppels, Woden, Peloton. It's a very intriguing race. Are you with Tentaurus or are you against him?
I'm with him to a degree in the fact that I don't want to lose the race if he wins because he's the best horse in the race. And I know that he meets My Gladiola worse off at the weights for the last couple of times they've raced. And I am a weights person because, they alter the overall rating. But at the end of the day, he's just a better horse than her.
Yeah. And
He's just better than her.
And I also don't think 1,200 lends to her either. Like, she's not a 12. I don't think she's a 1,200 metre horse.
He's going to be better at 12.
The further it gets, the better he gets.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sort of with you on that. Like, I didn't want to overplay the weights either.
Yeah, and the fact that was $1.85 in all-in betting for a long, long time, and now we can get $2.30.
Yeah, it's a treat.
Well, you just have something on.
Yeah.
Because if the best horse wins, he'll win. That's why he's got 57 kilos. As a 3-year-old, he went past him like he was standing still. And I know relative weights are a thing, but he still only goes up a kilo from what he carried last start, or a kilo and a half from what he carried last start. And he's home like 31 flat.
Yeah.
The guy's a freak.
Yeah, I know.
So
he's the best. Like, he's the best sprinter in the country, and he's a straight track beast.
Yeah, he'll be the best sprinter once he beats Jimmy Star. I reckon Jimmy Star's got the runs on the board, but he's right up there.
I've got him numero 1.
He's very dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's drawn beautifully too.
Yeah, that's the thing though. He's drawn beautifully with the southerly breeze and the way that we can see Flemington straight play when that happens. But Newmarkets are weird.
Yeah.
And we never know.
Yeah.
And if there's a split,
Rockin' Horses entered the chat.
I know it's not with the breeze going across the track. It might not be to the favour of Cabalas, but he's drawn barrier 1 and he's got Craig Newitt in the saddle. And I'm almost willing to bet he stays inside.
You reckon he's sneak? Well, it's kind of like,
I think
it's the throw of the dice, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon this race will split. Cabalas is drawn barrier 1. Seppels is drawn barrier 4, who's got some relative good pace. Barracuda, who they're going to ride a little bit quieter, but he still has good gate speed. He's drawn barrier 3. And then on the other side, Sharippa and Gallant Sun. I reckon that he rolls the dice and he goes down to the inside section. The race potentially splits. And if that inside section just goes that bit faster than the outside and they get a bit of a head start, we might see something weird.
Yeah.
And I think, this is a horse, Cabalas, who goes well second up. He was only beaten by Jolie Star first up after being half slow, then mustering. And this has been his race. Ever since he won that race at Doom when he stomped in, we knew he's going to go to the Expressway and then he's going to go down to Melbourne and try and win a Newmarket for a trainer who, for some reason, has horses just excel down the Flemington Straight, and this guy's been one of them. So at the prices, you have something on Cabalas, and then you make the best horse in the race Tentaurus a result, and you play around with your exotics with those two as well.
Is there any way, and I'm probably drawing a bow here because I think I know your answer, but I want to ask and put it out there anyway. Can you make a case at all for Gigi's Mistruth, given how she's run down the straight against Cabalas previously? So I think he may have given her similar on the weight scale. I think 3 kilos that day as well, I think. So, yeah. And very similar. So, she obviously...
They meet on level weights and he beat her a length. Fair square. So, enough.
Yeah, like obviously, she's had some things go wrong last start with the barriers. But, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this thinking if you're making a case for Cabalas, $46 and $8.50 is a pretty big price about Gigi's Mistruth as well.
Yeah, I won't have something on. I just think he's a better horse. Yeah. Oh, what about your guy that hasn't won since debut, Wadton? 50 kilos, won a straight jump out. as well.
There was
He
a
could be
member.
dangerous.
There was a member of the unit army that hopped in the comments on the Jet and Forget board, saying that Wadton will be in the Jet board when he wins on Saturday. I just want to break the news. Even if he wins this race, he won't be going on the Jet board. He'd be wanting to probably kick on and do it again before he's a genuine Jet.
I'm backing Tentaris and Cabalas, but in my quaddy, my Gladiola goes in.
Yep.
Peloton goes in. Wadton and Benedetta go in.
Yeah, Benedetta was a good run.
Sepples and Angel Capital go in.
Yep. Sepples. Matty Nevitt reckons the place bet of the autumn, he keeps telling me. Sepples in the Newmarket.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool your jets, Matty. I'm with Tentaris, his best sprinter in the country, straight track beast, drawn beautifully. Mark Zahra back on board. There's a few big tickety ticks there. Salts. Have you got something in race 10?
I do, yeah.
What do we got?
That's the Australian Cup Prelude.
Yes.
There's one over here for Kieran Maher, Australian Bloodstock. Mark Zahra has apparently been booked for the whole preparation in Augustus.
Yeah, German jet.
Yeah, he broke his maiden in Italy by 8 lengths. He placed in a German derby in 2024. He comes over here first up. His jump outs and trials, fair enough.
I thought his jump out left a little bit to be desired.
He's got a nice action on him.
I wanted to find the
2000.
German jet angle.
I did a little bit of diving into the form of his last start race. So the last time he raced, he won a Group 2 over 2,500 metres at Ham Off the Bone. And the horse that he beat, Narrativo, I think its name is, either side of that has just been completely punished, belted. The third horse, Cold Heart, has gone to 2 Group 1s since and has been beaten like 30 lengths. So that's the deep dive I've done of his form.
So the Hamburg form's no good.
Yeah, an overseas expert might see, I think that Goliath is a good horse, beaten 4 lengths to that. Other people might see some angles, but, first up off since July, I was happy to look around him.
I think it's lay territory, Salts.
Yeah, Whiskey on the Hill was excellent first up in the car line. They space his runs. Now he's drawn inside. This is just a good racehorse. He finds the line, had a quiet jump out between runs. I back him and also Immediacy. I was with him last start and it looked on face value like the slow tempo fanned him out and he got a bit keen. But they actually ran along at a pretty good clip. He was just disappointing, but he was second up, 59.5 kilos. Now he's got 3.5 off his back. His first up run, if he wasn't held up, he probably beats Light Infantry Man first up off a long spell. So maybe just second up 2 weeks between runs was his issue. I think he can bounce back.
Yep, there's Immediacy and Whiskey on the Hill. The last 2 plays at headquarters, which rounds out All-Star Mile and Newmarket Day. Let's go to Royal Randwick now because we've got the Randwick Guineas and the Group 1 Canterbury Stakes as well. A couple of absolute belters up there. We've got plenty of plays before we get to those. But track conditions, because isn't North and up the East Coast getting a bit horrible over, I know, particularly in Queensland, but the horrible, isn't it getting a bit nasty up there where there was? Surely we're racing on something reasonable on Saturday, though.
We're on an improving track.
Okay.
It's in the soft range at the moment, but there's going to be barely any rain up until race day. I think we might be in a good 4. And there's 0 to 15 mils predicted race day, but it's afternoon and evening as well. So I don't know that. I know Sydney's a different beast, but, at this stage, I don't think that rain impacts proceedings. The rail is 5 metres essentially, 1,000 to winning post. Not much recent 5 metre history, but the last 2 meetings that have been 4 or 6 metres, they've played on pace. Lanes 1 to 8, covering ground not easy. I'm sort of setting up for that. If you're making ground, it's by slicing through them, not by going around them.
Yep.
Like we saw, Rail True last week, they got off way off the fence, but once that rail moves out, it's a bit of a different scenario. Let's
start Saltsy in race 2. It's the Randwick City Stakes. This is a listed race over 2,000 metres. There's a little 2-bet play at hand here for you. Piggyback, who was a good winner a fortnight ago. You're buttering up on our old mate.
This pig is back in absolute form. She's a pig in mud. She was outstanding first up. Well, there's no mud this weekend, but it wouldn't matter. She does it all surfaces. Money was on last start. She drew inside in the Parramatta Cup. Too good for them. ran home well, another 100 metres, no issue. She's just flying. So we back her. And through the same race, Campbell-Dino was first up since June, straight to 1,900 metres. And from barrier 14, he did a lot of work. He looked gone at the 300, like he was going to drop out and be so bad it could be the end of his prep. And he sticks on, he's only beaten 2 lengths. Well, now he's drawn barrier 2, and he looks like the only leader in the race. So I reckon he gives a pretty good shout. Campbell-Dino and Piggyback.
Just looking at the trial there of Allel Cants as well. What's going on with that horse? Literally.
Well,
it's like I've never
the
used an
only
iPad.
time she's run ratings to the standard, a second, third up, 2,400 metres, 2,600 metres, prior to her not staying as favourite in the Sydney Cup. Since then, I thought last preparation she was just fair.
Yeah.
And the knock on her leading into last preparation was everyone kept saying, Hippo, Tim Clark, the Willow, haven't had it. Should have ridden her close to the speed. Well, she kept missing the start.
Yeah.
And she was asleep in the gates in her recent trial in Sydney as well.
Yeah.
Would not go a yard early. So, yeah, I don't know about her, where she's at.
Yeah,
she's not bouncing out of the gates. She's a bit below her best.
I thought the market was respecting her a lot there,
Yeah,
at around $6
agreed.
at the moment. So Campbell-Dino and Piggyback, the plays there in race 2 at Randwick. What about race 5? We're going to get to the 5-ball stakes. This is for the 3-year-olds. It's a listed race over 1,100 metres. Who are you with here, Saltsy?
The last time we saw Horseshoe Hill at the races, it was beaten by Raging Force. Raging Force was up and about, third up into the preparation. Horseshoe Hill was only at start 3 and second up. And then Raging Force went on to do some bloody good things after that win as well. So that form stood up. Her 2 trials leading into this, very good. One with that good horse Tonkin. The other one, she won and fended them off. I thought her work has been really nice. And at a big price, that Raging Force, the market's changed because he's come out, he's going to the challenge. But, near on $20 for her, I wouldn't be surprised if she ran a race. I have something on each way.
Yeah, big each way price for, what are we looking at, a 9-horse field there. With Horseshoe Hill for Björn Baker in race number 5. Let's move along now to race number 6. This is the Aspiration. It's a Group 3 race for the fillies and mares over 1,600 metres. This is a girl I had a bit of time for last preparation. She raced in Queensland for the O'Shea Charlton team, and that's Quietness. And you've been taken by her trials.
Well, this is essentially her second Australian preparation.
Yeah.
And we know that
I love that recipe.
Yeah, we know they can take some seasoning.
Yeah.
Because, she had to freshen up between the Grafton Cup and then dropping back in distance at Randwick. But it wasn't a full spell. So they've had a full spell with her, full preparation. Hasn't raced since she went off favourite in the Bendigo Cup. And she went off favourite in the Bendigo Cup because prior to that, she got shuffled back in a Coonji and ran home the fastest last 200 metres of the day. So she's got a bit of class about her. Tommy Berry, barrier 2. She's got some tactical versatility. I don't see where the speed's coming from. That hurts Pinedo. That hurts Pippi Beach. I think she just parks in behind them. Her trials have been good for a staying mare, and she's the best value of the day.
Yep. She's close to double figures, Quietness in race number 6. And to be really fair, any race, and I'll take this to the bank with me. Any race you find a My Racehorse runner in that you don't like the price, that you don't think is a good winning chance or you don't rate, you're going to get a price about something else. They get completely smacked in every market, Salts.
Well, it's got some good numbers unleashing you speak of, but it carried 54 kilos in a benchmark 78 last start, and it only gets half a kilo weight relief for going to a Group 3 this early in its career. So, look, wouldn't surprise me, but I thought the value lied elsewhere.
Yep. Let's talk to race number 7. Now, this is the Challenge Stakes. This is a ripping little affair over 1,000 metres. Giga Kick comes here after that first up performance where we saw him down the straight in the Lightning. You've got Raging Force, who you mentioned as well, on the second line at about 420. Mahuna, Generosity, then down to Marzu, Black Cloud, Skybird, and the rest. So I'm siding with Giga Kick here, so I'm with the favourite. I'm playing only into the last 4 races at Randwick, into the quaddy legs, and I just thought he just picked himself in this race, Giga Kick. I know you were really keen on him in the Lightning, and I'll be keen to get your assessment on him as well, but I just thought he just didn't appreciate perhaps being ridden too close.
He got
to the
exposed
speed.
too early.
He did, yeah. And I mean, back around a bend now at Randwick where we know he races exceptionally well, and any of that rain that's around later in the afternoon is only going to be a big plus. Perhaps the track was a little firm for him at Flemington in the Lightning as well. There's certainly things that I know Clayton Douglas has questioned now as he's becoming an older gelding, just in terms of what his best surface is to race on. He just draws plumb in barrier 5, and I love the booking of Nashville first time up on board as well, on board Giga Kick. So I thought he picked himself here as the clear best horse in the race, and I want to be with him.
I got no issue with him at 1,000 metres, hence that I made a case for him in the Lightning. I just wonder though, as an older horse, do you have one fresh run in you at 1,000 metres before you're then looking for a little bit further? We'll find that out, but that's a little bit of an angle that I've lent into, that, you know, maybe he had that one fresh run in him, sort of takes it out of his legs a bit, then he looks for a little bit further, where 12 is his best. Raging Force maps very well because from barrier 2, he either leads or kicks up, makes Marzu work to cross, and then takes the trail in behind. In flight Mahuna, they tuck back in, don't contest the lead. I can see this race being dominated near the speed. And what he showed as a 3-year-old was when he's up on pace on even tempos, he can quicken really well. He's a good racehorse. You know, he's got that 10 Taurus form at 12 when he was grabbed. He's got very good ratings as well and starting price profile. And his trial leading into this, it couldn't have been really more impressive. I'm in his camp here. I like his map. I can't poke holes in Giga Kick. I think he's an outstanding racehorse, but just giving this guy a head start when he's fresh up 1,000 metres, that's why I just want to be in the camp of Raging Force.
Yep. So head-to-head in the challenge. Giga Kick for me, Raging Force for Sults. Let's get to race number 8 on the program now, Sultsy. It's the Group 1 Randwick Guineas.
I know y'all be loving this shit right
Here. I've got to let in my pencil. And thank you, Peter Moody. You know, we haven't got a great deal of information out of you in the lead up to races or whatnot, but you know, for a while during the week, I was terrified that they were going to go to the Coolmore Classic because, to be honest, if she went to that Coolmore Classic, it's just basically like lining up at the Salvos to get a Group 1.
Yeah, well,
she just would have completely belted them.
Well, it's like Autumn Glow choosing Queen of the Turf over the Queen Elizabeth. We don't want to see that.
It was low-hanging fruit.
We don't want to see that in racing.
They bring her to take on the boys, and then now all of a sudden, this is arguably the contest of the day that's giving the most lead in the pencil.
It is a huge lead in the pencil.
Lead in the pencil. It's the girl taking on the boys. The boys are bloody good horses.
What she's done visually against inferior opposition and on the clock relative to like some of those closing sectionals she's run, and how she's done it, you know, in between runners, she's drawn low a lot of the time, her change up speed, turn of foot, all those things. She ticks all the boxes, but now we get to see her, like, can you do that? Can you do that and run past, you know, the Autumn Boy?
Yeah.
Ninja has to be respected. Attica, I got a huge opinion of Attica. I think will be better again at 2,000, but this is a quality field.
I'm wondering if she has to run past Autumn Boy or potentially the other way around. I think she's a little sharper out of the gates than him.
Yeah.
I reckon,
how do you map it?
I reckon Dusty Babe just naturally lands on pace from barrier 1. They were positive on Ninja last start and it worked for him. He can mix his gate speed, but they'll probably look to be positive early. They don't want to drag him back. Green Spaces bounced well last start, but you know, maybe to 1,600 metres, they want to ride a little bit quieter. Decorum was out fast last start, but prior to that, he was missing the start. So it is a little ambiguous whether she parks in front of Autumn Boyle or the other way around, but she does have tactical versatility. I think regardless, she gets a nice run because those other ones, Decorum, Green Spaces, Ninja, they all draw outside of her.
Yeah.
So I think she finds a back, regardless if it's a pair in front or behind Autumn Boy. And just to be anywhere within striking distance for him, I just think it's race over because her turn of foot's just too dynamic. I can't see them really ripping along here as well. I can see it being a little bit moderate, and that's going to bring in the horse with the best turn of foot We saw her clock the fastest last 100 metres of the day when she won that Sandown Guineas. And then her last win, I know it was against Salty Pearl and the likes, but it was rude. And her last 50 metres, she just doesn't stop through the line.
Yeah.
She's so easy to make a case for. I'm not surprised she's favourite. I'm happy to take around $2.40 as well. I think that's pretty close to her right price. She actually has raced Autumn Boy before in the past. They'd raced over 1,400 metres in the Queensland Carnival. She was coming off sort of Toowoomba form. He was only at start 2 after winning at Canterbury. She was 3 wide, no cover, and he got her back, and he put a margin on her, but she didn't stop through the line either as well. So he's 1-0 up, but if you swap the runs, there's a chance you might even swap the result.
They're different racehorses now as well, I think.
Well, they are as well, yeah. But
I think this race sets up for the horse with the best turn of foot, and that's She's at Alibi, and that's how I'm playing it as well. I just do think there are a couple of holes in the market. So it's like I look through and see, I see Attica at $10, who I thought closed off really well back towards the inside first up. And then you've got the likes of Decorum, who's had a couple of wins. They're talking the same price, Attica and Decorum. Like Decorum's come through a Warwick Farm 68 and a Warwick Farm 72, where he's beaten Lancelot de Luck. Like if I'm playing around with some exotics like trifectas and things like that, which I think I will in this race, the Godolphin runners are the ones I want to be with. Attica, I've got a lot of time for Green Spaces. I think Green Spaces can outrun his starting price as well. So I'm going to be playing around with a few of those salts, but it's a very intriguing race.
He is a good horse at Decorum. The only time he's lost a race is to Attica, and he actually was strong to the line. That was on debut, and he's gone and won 3 since. So he could potentially go to a new level, but I can see She's at Alibi going to a new level as well. And she's the one off with the best base, the best last start lead-in rating, equal to Ninja as well. But I think at the mile, she's just going to be a bit stronger than him.
Yep.
Autumn Boy, I think he can be competitive in a Cox Plate. This is a good horse. When he did win that Guineas, though, it was a really fast tempo, and he was fencing run. Observer was unlucky. He's not getting that same scenario here on the weekend to excel at 1,600 metres the way that he did last preparation.
Yeah, we have differing views on Autumn Boy and Attica. I still think Attica is going to be the better 2,000 metre horse than Autumn Boy. I think you sit on the other side of the fence with that one though. Let's talk.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk race 9 now, which is the Group 1 Canterbury Stakes. This is a belter of a race. Weight for age, 1,300 metres. Jolie Star's your $2.40 favourite. Lady Shenandoah on the second line at $4.80. Then you're down to Gringotts, $8.50. Bayvok, where the hell's that horse at $9. Napoleonic's been good at his last 2, but I'm still not sure of his distance range. He's $9.50. Then you got the likes of Linebacker, Yorkshire, Headley Grange, who are all kicking off their campaigns, and a couple of those are likely on a Doncaster path. Do you think the market's got it right with Jolie Star?
Yeah, I think it is. I didn't find really much of an edge in the race. If she runs to her best, she should win. She was strong late. Is she better on the absolute fresh side? She's 3 weeks between runs, but she's generally at her best. Sort of on the fresher side, but she did win the Newmarket last year, going expressway to Newmarket off similar gap as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't really offer much about this race. I looked at it. I looked at the numbers. I looked at the map. I looked at the market, and I just thought this just reeks of a look on job.
I've gone something at. I'm not too dissimilar to you in terms of the top end of the market and trying to find an edge, but there's one who's a complete line chaser in this race, and he does face his stiffest task yet, and it's Headley Grange. And I can make an each-way case for him to running a race. So he's passed 14 starts. He's finished in the top 2 on 12 occasions. He's an absolute consistent jet. He won the $1.5 million Alan Brown 2-back, and he was 3-4 wide. Remember we watched those on Guineas Day, and he beat Gringotts, who just had the run of all runs. At his next start, I think it might have been one of those big dances or something races. He just had an end of prepper, and then went to the paddock. But he's a machine, this bloke. He's tactically versatile. He's drawn out.
How's he trialled?
He's trialled good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Chad Schofield will have options with him from the wide draw. Like he'll poke forward, he can have a look, and if not, he can take a sit. I'm expecting a big run from him, and I'm also speccing him for a Doncaster. I reckon Joe Pride's going to have him absolutely humming for the Doncaster. I think he's in with 54.5 for that race. So Headley Grange and Linebacker, I've already backed them both for the Doncaster, but this will be like a live watch type scenario where if I want to have another go at them through the line into the Doncaster, because they'll go second up into that race with lightweights and be live chances. So I think Headley Grange is a good each way play in a good edition of the Canterbury Stakes. Let's get to race 10, Salts. We can agree on something. Well, we've agreed on a few things actually today, but we'll agree on something to close out the program. It's the Group 3 Winona Girl Quality. It's for the mares. And Idle Fly is the horse we want to land on. I got a big opinion of her. I was all over her for the Empire Rose when she just put in a stink bomb.
Yeah.
But she looks to have come back really well, and she fires fresh.
Well, she put in a stink bomb, but she started $3.50.
I know.
She started $3.50 first go weight for age mares.
Tell that to my $17 futures.
Yeah.
You can't eat them.
So obviously she's a good horse. She goes well early in preparations. I thought her trial this time in was probably better than other preparations. She follows a bit of a similar pattern. They have one really quiet trial, and then they have a lead-in trial where they ask her to do a bit. And although she was beaten in this trial and she's won other trials, I really liked the way that she found the line. And look, Gangster Granny's a good mare. Like
we love the Gangster.
Yeah,
she's one of ours.
First up, last preparation, she makes Autumn Glow to work her. She's 3 wide, no cover, beaten by Manal. Admittedly, she fell in the Nivison, but then she was to sort of say that if it wasn't for that run in the Invitation when she was 3 wide with 58 kilos and it was only beaten a length 1,400 metres, I'd be sitting here going, well, 58.5 kilos first up, is she going to run out the 12? But that Nivison run sort of had me, so the Invitation run sort of had me thinking that it might not be an issue. But I just don't think that at this stage she's a 4.5 kilo better mare than Idle Flyer, or a 4 kilo better mare than Idle Flyer.
Yeah. Is the
54.5 kilos compared to 58.5?
Yeah. Is the 1,200 the only thing that's perhaps going to be a bit sharp for Idle Flyer? Like she might be a mare that might want to cover a bit more ground now.
Yeah. She did win second up first preparation 1,200, and then first up last prep, albeit on a heavy track, she won 12.50 first up, and then second up 14. When she won second up 14, because I was looking in this race, potentially going to make a case for the mare. I think it's Bahenia.
Yep.
But she went early and had Idle Flyer in a pocket, and then Idle Flyer came out and just absolutely left it standing still. So I think Idle Flyer's got a better turn of foot from barrier 2. Escada, spring lead, Gangster Granny is worked to roll across, and she just parks in behind them. Idle Flyer. I was happy to be with her.
Yep, me too. Let's get to Morphettville now, Saltsy, and Murray Bridge this week. Apologies.
Morphettville Monday, Adelaide Cup Day.
Absolutely. We'll get some more content out around Adelaide Cup Day too on Sunday and Monday. So watch the socials for a couple of plays if you're that way inclined on a public holiday Monday. But Muzzer B. Of course, this segment's proudly brought to you by daretodream.com.au. I'll get their website correct, Saltsy, our mates across the border. What's the Muzzer B circuit doing for us on Saturday?
Rail True, it'll be a good track. I'm not playing into any races that aren't over sprint trips. But do note it's a tailwind from the 1,600 metre shoot down the back. So like not really an issue to be on pace circle races, but those sort of 1,100-1,200 metre races, which are short runs to the bend, that suddenly is a headwind as they round for home. And Rail True sort of smacking them in the side in the face as they round for home. I reckon the right run is blending in off fence, off speed, letting rip down the middle.
All right, well, let's kick off with race 7. It's a 0 to 62. It's for the fellas, 1,200 metres. Who have you got here, mate?
Hooked on Wealth. Draws out. Drew out first up at Morphettville over 1,050. Run the fastest last 600 metres of the day. He races pretty well at Murray Bridge. Has some pretty good numbers for this. If he repeats his number from last start, extends at 12, he'll win the race. And if he runs the number he ran over 1,200 metres 2 starts back, he'll win the race. And the fact that he's drawn out, I really like his chances.
Yep, let's get to race 8. This is the Magic Millions South Australia 3 and 4-year-old classic. This is a good little race, this.
It is, yeah.
You've got Shadova on the top line of betting at around 230. Mathematician, outstanding on debut, 360. Violet Lovebug, Redders, even Cash, who showed some promise early in his career, around $11. Dancing Storm's been racing well. It is a good little race here, Sults, but you've landed with the favourite for Tommy Dabenig, and our man look to the wall and see Troppo Oppo up there as well, and that's Shadova.
Well, this is a Magic Millions 3 and 4 year old race, and it's run under weight for age conditions. So, Shadova, a 4-year-old mare, only got to give half a kilo to Mathematician, a 3-year-old gelding, and she's much higher rated. So, I know he's progressive Mathematician, and the market's sort of come for both of them to a degree, particularly Mathematician. But it'd be a good effort to beat a mare that's this seasoned at this stage of her career. The form around her is pretty good, Shadova. Last preparation over 1,400 metres, she was only beaten by On Display. Look, she took a few to sort of build into her work last preparation, but he knows when to bring them over, Tom Dabenig, and which ones to bring over. And her recent jump out was outstanding, and I'm happy to back her at around $2.40. The way I see this race mapping is she kicks up from barrier 1, makes Violet Lovebug work to cross, maybe Ashton Glow, who can lead races, although a bit over further, might clear that horse. I can see her getting a pretty solid head start on Mathematician, letting Violet Lovebug work across and then rolling, popping off to its outside.
Sort of once bitten, twice shy with that mare, Shadova. I'm not convinced I'm hopping in the trenches with her, Saltsy. She's let the unit army down a couple of times.
It's a fair call. I thought she turned the corner at the end of last prep.
I thought okay. I haven't touched her since she probably shirked it on a couple of occasions, and I'm not going to war with her anytime soon. I'm not Simpson, put it that way.
Yeah.
She ain't my donkey, mate.
Yeah. Are you going to back against her?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to back Mathematician. I just thought he was just outstanding on debut at Morpheville, over 1,050. Just who knows what his upside is, this guy. Like, he was home fastest last 6.42 of the meeting. I think you expect natural improvement off that performance. The step to 1,200 metre looks like a big tick. He's going to be savaging the line if he gets clear air. So I think Mathematician's one that's well and truly on the way up and untapped, and one career start and one win says that. So we'll see where he gets to. And if he is, going to be something good for the Clarkin stable, I think this is a pretty nice stepping stone, put away a race like this. So Mathematician for me, but we'll be playing in the top end of the market there, Saltsy. What else have we got, mate?
Race 9 declared. Happy to forgive last start at Caulfield. Sat in the 1-1. Was a little bit plain. Did go around $3.50 in a benchmark 74 Saturday Caulfield. Now back to a 0-72 Murray Bridge, which saw him win first up over 1,000 metres and completely let fly. Fast time, strong late. He mixes his form, but his higher ratings, of which he produces sort of every 2, 3, 4 starts, they dwarf the rest here. So if he rocks up in any of the form that he's been in some of his recent Murray Bridge runs, well, he'll win the race. And barrier 9... this stage of the day, that wind up, I just think he gets the perfect run, blending in off the fence.
You declaring him?
No, I'm not.
Declared there at $4.40. That rounds out the specs for today. Let's get to our 2 units now, our best backs and our best lays all around Australia. I found it a very hard day to really land on one here, so it's like a couple of shorties that I want to go. But I think my best result for the day, just looking through and using my fingers and thumbs to count, my best result's going to be See What I See at Flemington, race 8, the Matron Stakes. She's going to be my best back on Saturday.
I found it an easy day to narrow a couple down as my best bets. My best bet in Australia is She's a Alibi in the Randwick Guineas. You back a progressive mare with the best turn of foot to just chews up the mile, no problems. My best bet at Flemington, race 1, Van Gogh Bank Check.
Yep.
And in your camp there. You're with See What I See, and I'm very happy to be opposing Damask Rose.
Yep. No, I'm with you on She's an Alibi. I think she's the best at Randwick as well. And yeah, Damask Rose can absolutely get in the bin. And you know who else I'm going to take on? Because I wasn't having a back in the race, but I'm going to be taking on the German Jet in the Australian Cup Prelude. I think he's far too short. And I reckon he will drift closer to jump, Saltsy.
I'm also keen to take on Legacy Bound as well.
Look at him. Fighting words to finish the show. Yeah, I'm going to take on Artist Bank Robber. Units, that has been close to an hour and 15 of just complete and utter power. Geez, if we did another one of those, that's like the runtime of Titanic, Saltsy. So it's a good effort. Well done. All the best across the weekend. We'll be back next week for, no doubt, just another belter of a weekend of racing. But good luck. Salts, good luck. I'll see you on Saturday.